Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin. If you're new here, hello, welcome. If not, what's up guys? How's it going? Today I figured I would do my first story time. So I was thinking of different video ideas and I want to keep it consistent. As you know, I've been posting on Fridays. So I want to keep a video once a week, whether it's a vlog, whether it's a sit down serious topic, whether it's a story time, blah blah blah. I said in the first video I'm going to film whatever I feel like filming. And I do like story times. In fact, they're probably my favorite. I just am not that exciting of a person, so I never wanted to claim myself as a story time YouTuber. But I do have some stories. And I was thinking of different stories I had, and I have a few, and one of the ones I was going to tell today is one happened when I was living in LA. And I figured it would only be smart to film the, story of how I moved across the country and that whole move and the experience, etc. before I filmed story times while I was there. So, moving forward, today's video is going to be the story of how I kind of dropped everything and moved to California. The story behind it, why I went, and how it went, and why I'm back home. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Okay, so it first started out when I was working at Leah Toyota in Northampton and Target at the same time, Target and Hadley. I was just a cashier slash customer service person at Target, and Toyota, I was an appointment coordinator for the service department. So anyways, not that that matters, but I was working 2 jobs, full-time for Toyota and just part-time at Hadley. But literally, I would work 15-hour days. I would work at Toyota from 7:30 to 4, and then I'd go to Target for 4:30. It was literally a 15-minute drive, so I had time to change and go to work. So that's what I would do. I got really used to it. It did wear me down, but I just felt like I always had to hustle. And now that's why I right now, because of Corona, I did have a full-time job about to start, and that's a whole different story, and I'm not. But I told myself that I don't want to work 2 jobs right now because I did enough of that. Target and Toyota weren't my only 2 job experience. The whole time I was living in LA, I did blah blah blah. Anyway, so I was working at Target and I was just sick of life, honestly. I'm complaining, but really it wasn't even that serious. It was just I was young, I was 19. Yeah, well, I was definitely 19 when I moved to LA, but when this came about, I think I was either late 18 or 19. And I was working at Target. And I became friends with this kid named, actually, I guess I'm not going to give names. I guess I'll give them aliases. Not that it matters, the story's not even really gonna be about them. Well, they're in it, but you know what I mean. There was 2 boys and a girl, so we'll say Leon is one of them, Mike, and Michaela. So Leon, Mike, and Michaela were going to be my future 3 roommates. So I started working with Mike at Target, and we became friends, this and that. He was telling me about how his girlfriend had been going to school out there for dance, and he's a dancer, and they dance. And, the other kid went to school with them, and he had been in, theatrical stuff and theater. So obviously, if you know anything about Los Angeles, that kind of stuff, it's perfect for out there. So basically he was telling me how he wants to move out there with his girlfriend, yada yada yada, and I said, bro, I would love to move out there. It would be so cool. It seems more open-minded, it seems just more freeing, and honestly, I'm just down for a whole different vibe, a whole different experience. So somehow it came to fruition, and we had decided that 4 of us were going to move to California. It was really, really fast, but it was slow at the same time. It felt so because at that point, once it was officially decided, like, we were counting down the days and we couldn't wait. But I mean, it really came quick. Like, I honestly, all I can remember from that time is that, you know, he mentioned, would you maybe like want to be a roommate, because like we want to move out there too. And because I think Michaela was going to school and then came back and then wanted to go back out there, so that's why they would have been moving together. So yeah, because she was gonna move back out there, you know, they needed a roommate, and he asked me. I said honestly, sure. And from then on, I ended up in California. Didn't have a lot of money. I mean, literally, like, I had, at the most, when we left for California, I had $2,000. Like, that is not okay or safe to be moving fully across the country without any sort of help from anyone and just expect to live off of that for however long. I don't even know. I was planning on transferring from a Target to a Target, and basically the Target that I wanted to go to only had they only had night shifts, and I really did not want to do that, but I was gonna do it anyway. And also, I guess I had too many, like, being late to work at Target, so I couldn't get a smooth transfer. I would have to, like, go to orientation and stuff again, blah blah. Like, I was rehireable, but basically I couldn't do a smooth transition, like, as if, you know, I just stayed with the company. So after, I wish I could remember when, you know, this conversation came up, but he talked to his girlfriend, and, you know, everyone was okay, and then they decided we should get a fourth roommate because it's going to be expensive. If you don't know, LA is really expensive to live in, just like mostly any city. But I mean, literally, there was some studio apartments there that were like $1,200 for a studio. Like, that's crazy. So so he talked to his girlfriend, then he asked their buddy that they went to school with, Leon, yeah, that's what I called him. Leon was down. So here we are, like, we would meet. They lived in, I think the couple lived in Belchertown at the time, and Leon lived in Amherst, but it was pretty much right near this little, like, supermarket thing that has, it's like super cute. I don't know, it's like, it's its own thing. It's not like a corporate grocery store. Anyway, so we would meet there and stuff, and, you know, we had a couple meetings at Leon's house, mostly Leon's house. We only met at that store, honestly, once, but I got an apple cider donut. Oh, so good. Anyway, and we would just talk about, like, finances, what we'd expect, this and that, like, what are we gonna do when we first get there? We're gonna drive, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, hotels, etc. So basically, we decided, after all these months of planning, that the plan was I take my Jeep, Leon drives with me, and Mike and Michaela take their own car, because they shared their own car. So that was set to go. And then Leon's family has a friend out there who, they have a house and a guest home in the backyard. So I guess they told Leon and his family that we could stay in the guest house for, you know, a little while until we could get on our feet and get our own apartment and this and that, which was super awesome. And it turns out, I guess, the family, like, the older couple that we were in their guest home, their daughter is an actress and was in some show or movie. I don't even remember. I don't know it, and I don't know her name, so sorry. I'm so sorry. Literally, your parents, though, are the best. They're so sweet. So so that was figured out, and we were gonna stay in that guest home, and then, you know, we had to figure out where we were gonna stay along the way. So Mike and Michaela had this friend in Ohio who goes to university, and we ended up staying there the first night. And then Leon's aunt and uncle live in Nashville, Tennessee, so we got to stay there one night for free. And then I mean, a couple of times we did stay at, like, a motel, like a Super 8 motel or something like that. They're really, like, trashy, but what are you gonna do? We were, like, young kids living on a budget trying to make it to freaking the big city, okay? So we did stay there a couple times, and Michaela's father had points on his hotel thing, so one of the nights we did get to stay in an actual, like, really nice hotel. We each got a room. Like, me and Leon got a Leon got a room, and then Mike and Michaela also got their own room, and it was super beautiful. It was in Albuquerque, New Mexico, which apparently that's where High School Musical was filmed, so I was like, you know, that was pretty cool. Wish I went to the school, but I think the school is in Chicago or, like, somewhere in Illinois, so yeah, I don't really know, so don't come at me. Like, I do love High School Musical, but I did not do that intensive research on it. Anyway, so everything was planned out. We were ready to go. The next step was for anyone who needed to quit their jobs and, you know, give their 2 weeks and lead up and have the day mark that we were going to actually leave and be on our way. And, you know, obviously we had talked about, like, finances when we get there. We're gonna split everything. Like, that really didn't have to be a discussion. We were just gonna split. And because it's so expensive out there also, we had to talk about, like, if I was okay with living with Leon, like, living in the same room as Leon, because a 2-bedroom's already mad expensive. So I was down. Like, it was totally fine. We got along great. It was so cool. So that was another thing we had to discuss, just, you know, the living situation and cleaning and, you know, like, groceries and things like that. It wasn't really anything crazy. It was mostly just, like, make sure everyone's going to be working and we all pitch in our share, and that's that. So one of these days, you know, I kind of, like, just quit my jobs. Like I said, I had, like, $2,000, and the only reason I even had, like, $2,000 is because I just got taxes and I got, like, $1,000. So I didn't really save as much as I should have, obviously. And still, I don't know. Like, I went on my way. So the day that we were actually gonna leave, we met up in the morning and we took off, and our first stop was Ohio. Like I said, that kid stayed in the university and was gonna let us stay. As soon as we got there, I think it was like a 9-hour drive. It honestly was totally fine. Like, it went by pretty quick. Me and Leon took intervals of 3 hours each, so it really went by quicker than you would think. Even now, I, like, kind of, like, dread, like, say, going to the beach, because from here the beach is, like, 2 hours away from me, but it's like, why? I literally drove, like, all the way across the country, and I thought a 9-hour drive was quicker than, what, a fucking 2-hour drive? I don't get it, but that's apparently how my brain thinks, and I don't agree with that, but that's just what it is. So we got there, and as soon as we got there, it was like a movie. Like, I didn't even really know these people already. Like I said, I had known Mike from work, and I met his girlfriend, and I met, you know, their friend, like, a handful of times, like, meeting about stuff, but the meetings were pretty short, like, probably an hour at the most, and we probably had, like, I want to say 5, but I honestly bet you it was less than that. Most of it was through, like, a group chat. So, yeah, it was wild. Like, I had to basically get to know these people on the way to where I was going to be living with them across the country. And I was so excited about that. I thought it was so cool because I got to expand myself, get out of my comfort zone, jump out of my box. Like, I don't know, like, I'm not even like that now, and I wish I was. I think it's because I did that. I'm not, like, opposed to that. I think that's awesome. I think you should go out of your comfort zones. I think you should experience stuff. But I was just, like, I don't know, I was wildin'. Like, I was like, I'm just gonna fucking drop everything, move across the country with people I don't even know. Call it a day. So, yeah, I did that. And we got to the university, and we get out, and their friend meets us, and instantly he's like, all right, like, you guys gotta help me cook, like, we'll put your stuff away later. And we're like, okay. So apparently he was in charge that night of cooking for, I don't know how many students, but a lot. And him and this little staff, and he brought us into the kitchen, threw us aprons and shit like that, and we just, like, had to start helping him cook for all these people. I mean, luckily, all I had to really do was like shuck corn and like, you know, do like clean and minuscule things like that. I didn't actually have to freaking cook because everyone would probably hated what I made, because at that time I really didn't cook ever, and I would have been way too like nervous because I just like got thrown into the situation. But it was really cool, like I said, out of a movie. And then once we were done, we just, you know, went back to, he had like a townhouse, so he wasn't even there for the night, and we just got to chill there, sleep. And then the next day I think we went to, I want to say Tennessee, and the next day we were on our way to Tennessee. So like I said, Leon's aunt and uncle were in Nashville, so we went to Nashville and we were gonna stay with his aunt and uncle. We got there, it was so crammed, at least the highway surrounding like the little suburbs that we were gonna be staying in. But because I didn't really get to go into Nashville, I wish I did, but we were just staying there for the night. Honestly, it was a blast though. It was so beautiful. When we were going through the little suburbs, it was still kind of congested, but there was so much flowers and like nature, like the flowers, it was so colorful. Like that's all I remember, is it being a colorful suburbs, like just so many beautiful flowers, and I thought it was so pretty. If I have pictures of little stops, I will throw them in. So yeah, while I'm talking about these little things, I do have some photos, so I'll put those in. But yeah, so we got there, we played pool. Honestly, I got wine drunk, slept so good. They had a really good bed, and then the next day we were on our way again. Mind you, this whole time everyone here told me that my Jeep was not going to make it across the country, so every day I was like panicking, thinking that like I made sure that the temperature gauge was like normal, and I was just always looking at the dashboard, like constantly just checking if lights were on, checking if, you know, anything felt funny. And like when I wasn't the one driving it, because like I said, we took turns, I'd be like, does it feel okay? Does it feel okay? He's like, yeah, it's fine. And I'm like, whew, okay. So after that we were on our way to, what I say after Tennessee, I believe it was Oklahoma City. I'm trying to like remember this on the map because I'm using my phone right now, so I'm not checking anything, but I believe it was Oklahoma City. That's when we stayed in a like a Super 8 motel. It was fine. Like that was probably my least favorite state, like was Oklahoma, because I don't know why, I just didn't really like it. And I mean, we just got there and went to bed, honestly. I think we might have ordered pizza or something. I don't know. Like, it was cool hanging out with them, so it was fine. But, yeah, like, it was just chill. It was fine. Then the next day, we went to New Mexico. I think that's the day we went to Albuquerque, and that was so beautiful. That was my favorite traveling day. I think New Mexico is one of my favorite states after going through there. It's just, I have a dream catcher in my Jeep, and it's from one of the little stops there. And even, you know how like we have those little, well, if you're from Massachusetts, sorry, you could literally be from New Mexico. But we have in Massachusetts, on the highway, we have what's called a Mass Pike. We have these little like stops. It has like McDonald's always, it has a gas station, and it has like a little convenience store inside. It was like that, but it was so cute, and like I just loved all the like the shit that draw tourists in, baby. Like honestly, like all the like little gadgets and shot glasses and stuff, and just the way it looked. Oh, I just freaking loved it. I don't know. It was my fave, and the mountains were beautiful. We got to that hotel that I told you Michaela's father had our rooms in, and there was mountains like right there through a window. I'll insert a picture, and it's just so good. It was just so good. And then we went out to dinner that night in Albuquerque. I think we went to Chili. No, maybe Applebee's. Might have been Applebee's. But we went somewhere cute. Like, I don't even like Applebee's really, but like I had a great time that day, so don't mind me. And I just loved it. And you could see the city lit up at night, and you couldn't see the mountains anymore, which was kind of cool too, because like the city looked shaded when the mountains were visible because of the way the sun was hitting, and then at night you couldn't see the mountains and just the lights. Loved it. Next day we were on our way to Arizona because we were gonna go to the Grand Canyon. I believe, I don't know exactly where we stayed, to be quite honest. I have an Instagram photo and I was in Flagstaff, Arizona when I posted it. Insert photo. But we stayed somewhere where it was like very woodsy, and it kind of reminded me of Massachusetts, but different. Obviously they have like, I don't know, it's more like, you can tell, like western, like kind of like Wyoming looking, you know? And yeah, we stayed there, but we ended up going to the Grand Canyon, which I can't even believe little old me got to do. Like, it sounds so stupid because it's something that, it costs I think $7 to go, and it's just freaking, it's so amazing. Like, it makes you feel so small and so, I don't know, I just, when you're like around nature that is that consuming, you really feel like you're kind of like this small person, and you just feel small, but in the best way. Like, I don't want to sound like a hippie or whatever. I don't want to sound all like hippy dippy on you, but I'm just saying, like, if you get down with nature like that, super cool. It was super awesome, and I definitely suggest going. I would love to go again. Honestly, my asthma was acting up that day, so I didn't get to fully enjoy it, but I definitely enjoyed it. Like, that did not stop me from taking advantage of what I could. Also, I saw elk there, and I thought they were moose at first because I didn't realize elk were fucking huge, and they're just like giant deer. Like, they're probably a little smaller than a moose, but honestly, like, they were huge, and they were just like chilling in one of the little island things in the parking lot where we were parked at the Grand Canyon. Like, they obviously weren't scared of people. I mean, people around them are used to them and stuff, so that was wicked awesome. And yeah, that was a great day. And then after that, we went to that little motel. I think that night we stayed in a Super 8 again. And by the way, it's only like $60 a night, split between 4 people. That's why we fucking did it. All right. So we did that. And the next day was when we arrived to California. And the whole trip, like I said, I was getting to know these people. I got to know, you know, like, if you don't believe in zodiac signs or like astrology, sorry about it, but like, I'm into that stuff. So we were talking about our signs and stuff, and it happened that like one of them was, I'm the fire, and then one was earth, one was water, and one was air, and we thought that was super cool that the 4 of us were living together, all the 4 different elements. So that was really cool. And then just like me and Leon bopping to all different music and stuff, so that was really fun. And I don't know, he's a great time. The couple's a great time. Like, it was a really good time, and I really enjoyed all 3 of them. So we got to Los Angeles finally, and mind you, you know, at least for me, I'm only going to speak for really me and Leon, because I don't know what Michaela and Mike were thinking in their car when we arrived, because we were in different cars. We got there, and it happened to be a cloudy day, and you know, you hear of smog and like how it's such an issue in LA and stuff. So we get there, and I'm like, I don't want to live here. Like, if this is smog, like I can't even see the sky. Like, I thought it was supposed to be hot and sunny here and stuff. And you know, Leon's like, yeah, what the heck? And we're like looking at the sky like, bitch, it was just a cloudy day. But so yeah, we ended up at that family's house, or the couple, I should say, the older couple. We got settled in the guest home. They had this like big, like little pavilion thing, and that's where you parked your cars under. It was in Encino, California, if you're wondering. And basically, you opened up this gate, and it was their house. And luckily, like, the door was right here, okay? Like, say I'm coming in through the backyard, the door's right here, and their washer and dryer were right there. So, like, they told us we can use their washer and dryer, and we didn't even have to bother them. We did not have to go through their house. Like, it was right there. So you go through, and it's this beautiful little passageway to the guest home. in-ground swimming pool on the right hand side, which yes, we had access to and were allowed to use. And then on the left there was this patio set, I think it was raised like with cement, and then patio chairs and something covering it, and then like gardens. Oh, like I don't think I have pictures of that, which I don't know why. Thinking back now, I wish I took a picture of every single fucking thing, but I don't know why I don't have a photo of that. If I find one or if can figure out if someone does, I'll insert that, but I don't think I do. And we ended up staying there for 2 weeks, and we found an apartment in 2 weeks, and it was super hectic, super stressful, super crazy. I mean, literally the night that we arrived, I was outside on the patio just searching, making phone calls, you know, like doing that kind of stuff, because I wanted to get my shit in order, you know. But the road trip there was honestly the best experience to this day that I've ever had. I mean, I'm only 24, so I hope to have more and better experiences. But literally, it was so fun. I was so outside my comfort zone, and it really made me glow as a person. It made me grow as a person. And it was so cool. So cool. So, I was going to tell you guys about the time that I moved to California, and I am, but this is way too long and I'm just rambling, so this is gonna actually be just the road trip there and like how I kind of like ended up leaving. So in the next part, I'll do a part 2 and just actually like, you know, talk about living there and like finances, expenses, what it was like, what it was differences, did I like it, what didn't I like about it, etc. So the next video I'll do part 2, and yeah, that was just pretty much the story of the road trip. Sorry if I was talking too much and didn't give enough detail, or if I gave too much detail, but yeah, best thing ever. Recommend doing it. If you need to take a road trip, you should, especially right now during COVID. I mean, I'm not saying go and like to restaurants and shit. I mean literally just take a road trip and go camping, like in the middle of nowhere with your loved one, you know. Just give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. On my videos, I haven't really been saying anything like, you know, like the video or subscribe or anything like that, mostly because I don't want to feel forcing. I don't want to feel like, not that anyone who does that is, pretty much all YouTubers say that, but I never want to be like, because I don't care about that. Like, honestly, I don't really care if you subscribe. I don't care if you follow me. I think it's awesome. And honestly, since my body positivity video, I have gotten a little bit more, not a lot more, just a little bit more. And that, like, you know, boosted my ego a little bit, made me happy that it was getting to somebody, especially because that's what the whole point of it was. But if you guys want, subscribe please. The button is down below. I will see you in part 2. Thank you guys for watching. Bye. Oh, also, I was just watching some of that back, and I did a lot of dumb shit during this because sometimes I'll just sit there and like not talk. So I thought it'd be funny to add in some bloopers. So you're welcome. Enjoy. So today is gonna be Clyde, come here. Oh, it's a cutie kitty. Oh, it's so cute. Look at the overexposure because you're white. Hello, people. I'm gonna do a Meet the Pets video soon, but look how cute he is. Look at his so cute. He's like slowly sinking, like, Lord help me. Okay, buddy, sorry. Anyways. Shit. I don't like the overexposure. Can you just focus? That's better, I guess. I guess that's what I get for sitting in front of a fucking window instead of getting a ring light.